at the University of North Carolina,
Yep.
folks are winning stuff all the time. So it's hard to do something that hasn't been done recently. If you do something in Carolina athletics that hasn't been done since 1985, you have really done something. And our guest today is Parker Wolfe, who's part of the men's cross country team that won the ACC championship for the first time since 1985. Parker, the individual champion, first time a Tar Heel's done it since 1997. So, Parker, congratulations on an incredible weekend, and thanks for being with us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So, how did the Tar Heels do it? It's been a long time. Why is this the team?
Well, I mean, it all started back when Coach Milt took over the head coaching job 4 or 5 years ago, and he kind of came in with the mindset that we're going to build something special here since it hasn't been done in a long time. The coaching staff thought this was kind of a sleeping giant of the distance running. You know, we've got all the facilities, we've got all the things to be good, but they just haven't been in a long time. So, I mean, it's taken a while, and we've came in with like a team first mindset, and it took the whole village of us to get it done. But I mean, you know, through 5-6 guys, we got it done. So, pretty exciting.
So when you say like Carolina has, like, what do you need? Like, what are the things that you need to be good at? I mean, I'm not talking about as an individual because I want to get to that, but I'm talking about when you're trying to build a team and you like have to have some stuff to be good. What is required to be good?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot, right? Obviously, you've got like facilities. You need, you know, trainers, and you need, you know, good support staff. But a lot of it's also just like team culture, which is something we preach every day. So, you know, coming in with the right mindset, and everybody has got to do their job every single day. The little things, you know, getting to bed on time, sleeping right. And we had a lot of guys here that just, you know, the old coaches recruited guys that just weren't, you know, up to that standard. And when Milt came in, he kind of laid down the law. And I think 4 or 5 guys quit the team right when he got here, and we left with a small group of now 5th and 6th years. But they wanted to build something here, and you know, it took that small group kind of expanding and recruiting the right guys that we wanted, and ended up where we are now.
So that's not the first time that somebody said that about when Coach Miltenberg came in, and I think he even said that himself. So what was it that made you believe what he was saying, that what his expectations were worth meeting?
Yeah, I mean, he's really convincing on the phone, I'll say that. All the recruiting calls I went with him, like of all the coaches, he was like so passionate, and I thought it was an act at first. I was like, okay, well, yeah, he's really passionate, like very, very energetic guy. But like the more I talked to him and the more I talked to the other guys on the team, and I mean, there was no official visit, so I never met him during COVID. We had nothing. So I just had to go straight through Zoom calls and phone calls with him, and talking with the other guys that were already on the team, they're like, no, he's actually like that every single day at practice. Like, he's got all this energy, and I just love that. And I was like, all right, I guess, you know, maybe I'll hear him out. And, you know, I had a bunch of friends from high school that also committed here who were really good runners, Ethan Strand and Sully Shelton and all these guys. So I thought, you know, might as well hear him out, and now I'm here. And I mean, it's something you have to buy into for sure. Like, you can't come here and think it's just going to happen. You got to be able to buy into his mindset and his process, and things will happen. So
there is a level of discipline, and I think that word is related to what you've said already, but there is a level of discipline that's needed to be a college athlete, period.
Yeah.
It just feels like your sport in particular, like it has to be down to the letter of the law.
Right.
In that, why is that something that you enjoy doing? Do you enjoy doing it? And how do you think you're able to do it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a game of seconds, literally, and everything you do every day matters. I mean, you could do something on a Tuesday that's going to affect you for a Saturday race, and so it's a game of very small margins. But there's something about going out there and just like, there's no, I mean, I used to play baseball, and it's like, oh, the coach's son's going to play over you. And this is like very straightforward. It's like, if you don't run fast enough, you're not going to be on the team. You're not going to win. So I love that it's just a very straightforward competitiveness. It's not a game of like, oh, maybe I'm better than him because I've got a better batting percentage. It's like, are you literally faster than him or not? And so I think just like, it's all about like the competitive mindset. I've always been competitive, and this is just like a really good way to demonstrate that. And like, you know, you go out there on the course, and are you better than them on the day? Yes or no. It's a very simple thing that I just like really like demonstrating that. Yeah.
Like, what can you eat? I can't imagine you can't that during the season you can eat a lot.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely have our like weird things. We've got a guy on the team who eats the same meal every single day he has a turkey burger and rice for dinner every day of the week. So, I mean, obviously that's the far end of the spectrum, but we preach on just eating the right stuff and not, I mean, obviously you can enjoy a hamburger here and there, but like definitely intentional with everything we do and, making sure we're getting all the right stuff.
What are, in addition to nutrition, clearly, what are some of those things that make a difference in the margins when you're talking about 1 or 2 seconds?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing we talk about is the like 9 hours of sleep a night, the same 9 hours. So, if you're going to bed at 11 and waking up at like 10, like it's you got to have the same 9 hours, so like 10 to 7. We think that, I mean, coach says it's the biggest performance enhancing drug is sleep and hydration. So besides eating, those two are the kind of the main things we harp on. I mean, we just making sure that we cancel out anything that, when we get to race day, that's going to make us worse. So making sure we're on top of every little thing, and it's all very small, and it doesn't seem like it'll matter until you get there. And then you're winning by 0.1 seconds, and it's like, okay, maybe it was the extra hour of sleep I got on Monday, right? So very small margins, and you just got to make sure you're trying to do them all to your best ability.
I feel like sleep is sort of rising up the athletic culture as something that matters. Can you tell a difference?
I think it's really hard day to day to notice. Like if I had a rough night of sleep and I go do a workout, it's like, oh, workout will probably be fine. But it's like in the couple days after your recovery, we talk about recovery all the time. It's like that's what's going to, get you going and get you recovered for the next day so that the workouts can help you in the long term, help you for those races. Because if you're not recovering, you're just going to break down. And the biggest way that people don't get better is injuries. So, if you're not getting enough sleep, you may not feel it the next day or the day after. But when you get injured in a week or two and or have something pop up, it's like maybe it was you're missing sleep. So, just again a game of margin. So I mean, sleep's definitely a rising thing in every sport. It can't hurt to get enough sleep. So
what if I don't get enough sleep and I'm dehydrated all the time? Do you think that's a good or bad combination, Parker?
Definitely a bad combination.
Okay, you're running for a long time. Like that's the point. It's distance running. What do you think about when you're running?
Oh, it's a lot of stuff to think about. I mean, when you're going home for the summer, you're all by yourself for the most part. I mean, I'm from a different part of the country than most of these guys back in Colorado, so I don't see them, run with them all summer. So it's kind of just you and yourself out there. When you're here, we've got some good banter going on with the guys, just talking shop. It's always good fun. But
how do you have enough breath to talk?
That's one key difference between Parker and us. He can talk while he's running, whereas I just wheeze.
Yeah,
yeah, definitely. I mean, those easy. We've got our easy days like Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. So we kind of just keep a conversational pace. It's just
what's an easy day?
Yeah, it's like our Mondays range between like 9 and 11 miles, 9 and 12 depending on the guy in the morning, and then you go back in the afternoon and you have your second run of the day and you do like 3 or 4. Sometimes some of the older guys do like 5. But a lot of that's just keeping it conversational. There's a lot going around about like, man, you should hit this pace on your easy days and then this pace. We just go based on effort. Like if you're conversational, it's probably a right pace for you. And just like plugging away. But yeah, I mean, sometimes you get out there by yourself, especially in races, and not a lot to think about. You try to distract yourself for as long as you can, thinking about, what am I going to eat after this? And just random stuff. So,
is there any smack talk in long distance running?
Oh, absolutely. We're just not very good at it. Yeah. I mean, just a lot of, I mean, if you look at us, we're like very skinny guys that, I mean, if you look at us, you don't think, oh, what do they do? There is smack talk, and on our team, there's, a little banter here and there, but we try to keep it pretty civil. So,
well, so you can keep it anonymous if you want, but like, what's an example of like long distance running smack talk?
Oh, Ethan on our team, he and I get into it. We always mess around. Like he's a little better at the shorter stuff than I am. So I'll say, dude, I'm gonna take you in this 800, and then he'll go and just like rip me, and I'm like, okay, well, he backed it up. But like we're always just giving each other crap for, man, you really can't sprint, can you? You don't have a close on you at all. You can't finish. So yeah, all that stuff. It's pretty lighthearted. Yeah.
How's your kick?
Well, it played out pretty well at the ACC, I'd say. Yeah, not too bad.
Let's take a look at this gold medal right here, Jones. You tell me, buddy.
It's something Coach and I have been working on. Came out of high school, was not known for having a kick at all. And even in college, the last couple of years, I've been outkicked quite a few times for the ACC title, won by my own teammate. So Ethan outkicked me in the 3K indoors, and we've been working on it a lot. My kick, I'd say, is more of a sustained kick. So Ethan will go with like 300 meters left and just blow the doors off everyone. I like to go a little bit further out and try to sustain it. Just more of playing to my strengths, I guess.
How do you train? Like, how do you train that?
Yeah.
I mean, I assume at that point of the race, everyone is at least some
Right.
level of fatigue.
Yeah.
So how do you train to then go, okay, it's the last whatever, it's time to go?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it's mentality. We talk about, Coach and I have like been just practicing visualizing, like, you know, that last 1K of the race, really turning over your legs, really just like gritting down when it hurts. And but a lot of it's also, we've been working on this for 3 years, like strength wise. We've been building up mileage. So start off as a freshman, around 65, 70 miles a week, now up to 85 to 90. Oof. And it's all strength based. So we've just been working on it. And recently, like in the last couple of weeks, I didn't have a great kick at my last race before ACC. So we did a workout that was more just like rolling through that mentally rather than just like the physical part of it. Because you can't really get the feeling of finishing a race hard without finishing the race hard. So a lot of it's just like thinking through it, visualizing, and then practicing it in the race.
Entirely possible this could be a dumb question, which you're probably accustomed to by now. So you're from Colorado.
Yeah.
Does it feel different running in North Carolina than it does in Colorado? And if so, has that changed the way that you compete at all?
Yeah, it definitely feels different. I mean, I go home for winter break and summer and stuff, and that's high altitude. So, I mean, paces are a little different on workouts. It's a little harder. You get more fatigued up there. But it's usually only like a 2 or 3 week span of when I leave Colorado and come back here that you get like that benefit. And at that point in the summer, it's already humid as heck out here. So it's already hard. But yeah, you notice it a little bit here and there. But after a couple weeks, it's kind of just like this is the normal and used to this normal sea level air and this weather. So, yeah.
Hips, knees, or feet? Which are the hardest part to like maintain that when you're running as much as you are?
Oh, that's a tough one. I think knees and hips. I think the hips because there's so many muscles in there. Yeah, something's gonna get sore whenever you're racing or running hard. So thank goodness we have Kelly and the athletic training staff to help us out when stuff's bothering us. But yeah, probably the hips. I mean, everything goes and connects in there. So a lot of stuff going wrong sometimes. Yeah. So yeah.
Other than the obvious physical characteristics, what are the characteristics of a good long distance runner mentally?
Just being able to kind of be uncomfortable all the time, as long as you can. I mean, if you look at one of the guys on our team, Alex Phillip, he's a D3 guy, transitioned to D1. We got him through the transfer portal this year, and he was not a very good high school runner. He went D3 instead of D1, and he's just been grinding out mileage for 5 years before he got here. And he's just really good at going for a long time being uncomfortable. And I think that's the biggest mindset that a long distance guy needs to have. I mean, because you're not going to be comfortable. Even when you've got 7K left in the race, the first K is always hard. Like, the first mile is going to be hard. It's not going to be easy. So just being able to be uncomfortable for as long as possible. And we practice that in workouts every day. And it's a hard thing to work on, but got to keep chipping away at it.
So why is that fun? Most people don't want to be uncomfortable at all.
Right.
And you're saying, I want to be the best at being uncomfortable.
Yeah. I mean, it's more of like, I think to be a good runner, you got to have that competitive edge to you. If you don't like to win, then this probably isn't the sport for you. Or if you don't like to see how good you can get, I think that's like, even with the guys who are, sitting 6'7" on our team, they just want to see how good they can get. And that's like, I mean, it's all about that. If you don't like to do that, then you're probably not going to be that good of a runner. But you got to want to see how good you can really get.